This morning's reading, Scheana Shay, The Men, the Mistakes. Okay, and the moments that made me. Her good side, her bad side, nothing is off limits for the Vanderpump Rules star in her new memoir, an exclusive interview with us, including hard truths about her marriage and a bombshell about her former boss. Okay, for decades on Vanderpump Rules, Scheana Shay let the world in on every pumptini lace detail of her life. At least it seemed that way. Turns out she was holding on to a secret. In 2023, while the world was obsessing over Scandival, the franchise-shaking Tom Sandoval, Rachel Leviss, Ariana Maddox cheating scandal, Shay learned that her husband, Brock Davies, 35, had been unfaithful while she was pregnant and their daughter, Summer, 2 years prior. In her new book, My Good Side, Shay, 40, finally shares it all. And yes, she's aware that some fans will be quick to throw her past affair with a then-married Eddie Cibrian in her face. It really felt like I got karma, Shay tells us. Did I deserve for Brock to cheat on me? No, but I told myself that I did. With the help of couples therapy and solo sessions, Shay had an appointment scheduled right after her chat with us. The Bravo star is owning her narrative. I have a voice and I want to use it. I am extremely proud of the woman I've become, she says. I am not that 21-year-old girl chasing boys around clubs anymore. Now that VPR has wrapped, an entirely new cast premieres later this year. Shay talked to us ahead of My Good Side's July 22 debut, opening up about her decision to stay with Davies, what she'd change if she could, and more. What label and misconception about you has hurt the most over the years? I have a new song called Misunderstood, where I list everything that people have called me. Homewrecker, flip-flopper, disloyal, so many things are hurt because they're not true. I am extremely loyal. I'm a girl's girl. Please don't necessarily say that side of me because the girls I was on the show with weren't. The girls I would necessarily be loyal to and the girl's girl around because they didn't always treat me in a way that deserved that. When Bravo fans met you, you were the girl who'd had an affair with Eddie Cibrian during his marriage to Brandi Glanville. I have worn this scarlet letter for so long. I'm this home-wrecking whore every day in the comments. He's the one who lied. He's the one who cheated. He is the homewrecker. I don't want to say I was innocent, but I was lied to by a 33-year-old man when I was 21, fresh out of college. I feel like people tend to forget that. They see 27-year-old Scheana on season 1 of Vanderpump Rules, and it's as if the Eddie situation happened the year before. This happened in 2006. We weren't on air until 2013. Looking back, were there red flags? Absolutely. I was leading with my heart and not my brain. Do you have any regrets? There are many things I wish I could change. I don't like to have regrets in life, but one thing I do regret was opening up to the media about Eddie. I wasn't thinking about his wife and the toddlers at home. People like to say that I make everything about me. This was an instance where I was only thinking about myself in that situation, and that was not okay. It was extremely immature and extremely irresponsible. I'm so sorry to Brandi for her having to find out about me the way she did. She didn't deserve that, and lo and behold, look what my husband did to me. In the book, you reveal that Lisa Vanderpump knew about your affair with Eddie, but pretended not to when she brought you and Brandi together on The Real Housewives in Beverly Hills in 2013. She low-key used my real life pain to launch her TV empire. And what an empire she has. She gaslit me about it for a decade instead of just coming to me in the beginning. That's the thing with Lisa. She doesn't make mistakes. She makes moves and then calls them coincidences. When did your relationship change? On season 6 of VPR, when James Kennedy told Katie Maloney that the outfit she was wearing wasn't flattering, I got a phone call from Lisa. She didn't want to fire James, so she needed someone to stand up for him at a staff meeting. If you go back and watch, I'm getting a death stare from Lisa, like, when are you going to speak up? When are you going to stick to the script? That's when I stopped following her orders, and I feel like the relationship changed after that. The cast has been vocal about the show not being scripted, but you write about another moment in season 9 that was also orchestrated. A confrontation with Lala Kent about you and Brock getting engaged during James and Rachel's engagement weekend. We absolutely scripted that finale. Lala and I pulled Ariana and Katie aside and we're like, okay, we're going to show up and do our job, but we're not going to tell production that we're going to fake a fight. Production won't know we did that until it comes out. That was a one-off and the only time we faked something. It was desperation over wanting to save our jobs and get another season. Something left out of the season was your traumatic 2021 delivery, which included preeclampsia treatment with a magnesium drip, which led to Summer being born limp and blue. That was one of the more challenging parts of the book to write. Help HELLP syndrome can be fatal. It's something most people don't know about. I certainly didn't until I was transferred to the high-risk ICU. When Summer was born and not making a sound, I was terrified. I thought she was going to make it. It wasn't going to make it. It was the scariest minute of my life. And as a result, you don't plan to carry another child through you. And Brock have expressed hopes for baby too. Using a surrogate is something that I've not fully come to terms with yet. I felt Summer kick. I felt her hiccup. I breastfed her. And it's going to be a very difficult experience this time. I worry that I might not have the same connection to the baby, but we are slowly taking steps in that direction. You were also diagnosed with postpartum OCD. How are you doing now? I felt like at that point I was going to make the wrong decision and it could be life-threatening. It's definitely gotten easier. She's older, but now she could tell me when something hurts. I have an amazing daughter. I'm also on 100 milligrams of sertraline, which is generic for Zoloft. I've done extensive EMDR therapy, which really helped process trauma. Now I'm able to do interviews like this and not sob. You were pregnant with Brock when Brock had an affair with a woman from his gym. Tell us about your decision to include the revelation. I went back and forth. It started as absolutely not. It was an 8-month conversation with Brock. After several therapy sessions and really talking about it, we decided that this book would be inauthentic if we didn't put it in. AKA, no one would buy it. No kidding. All right. Was the hesitation yours or Brock's? A little bit of both, but I'd rather it come out of my words because unfortunately there was another person involved in the situation, and at that point in time, she could come forward. What was your reaction when you learned about the affair? A slap across the face of me chucking a Rubik's Cube in his direction, but then I had to take a deep breath and remind myself that our daughter is upstairs asleep and is not so cut and dry. Well, it is cut and dry. He decided to step out on you. Did you consider walking away? Had there been no kid, honestly, had I found out about it when he did, 100% without a doubt, I would have left. I've always been a person who said if I'm ever cheated on, I would leave. My ex-husband, Mike Shay, had an emotional affair, which honestly could be worse than physical, but this was such new territory for me to navigate. Why do you think he did it, and why did he finally come clean? After Scandal, he was worried something would leak. I was thankful it would come from him. It took him a long time to tell me because he was afraid. I can have sympathy now and understand that he felt like he didn't deserve a second chance at being a father. Well, he kind of doesn't. He has kids he does have nothing to do with and lives a million miles away. That's not a good dad. Davies has strained a relationship with his 2 older daughters from a previous relationship who lived in Australia with their mother. He doesn't have a strained relationship. He has no relationship. That really broke my heart for him that he felt like he needed to sabotage something so amazing because he didn't deserve it. We can't let our past define who we are, and I didn't want him to hear that for the rest of his life. Is your relationship fully healed? It takes work every single day. I will forever have insecurities. Just the other day I saw him swipe and delete a text and I'm like, what was that? And he's like, seriously, Scheana? But I genuinely believe he would never do anything like that again. I do trust him. I have forgiven him. We put in the work in couples therapy. We have a very open line of communication. I want to show people that if you truly love someone, a mistake from their past doesn't have to define the future of your relationship. After Tom cheated on Ariana, you continue to film with him, even though you and Ariana have been close. What nobody knew was that you learned about Brock's affair at the same time. I don't think I gave Ariana as much grace as I should have in the moment. Just because I was willing to forgive Brock and essentially forgive Sandoval, she wasn't ready for any of that. I also wasn't ready to tell that story. I don't think our marriage would have survived if I did. I wasn't even protecting Brock in those moments. I was protecting Summer. What would you do differently now? I wish I supported Ariana more in the way that she needed. I feel like I was put in the position where I had to do a job. I was going through my own personal heartbreak and I wasn't the friend that she needed throughout the season. I genuinely regret that because she deserved more from me. I hope that one day privately we can sit on the couch and have that conversation I wanted to have with her 2 years ago. I miss her. She was my best friend and I'm just over the moon seeing how incredible she's doing. You write about being involved with a woman before Brock. With John Mayer, it says woman. With John Mayer, sometimes there was another girl around. Oh, but I never had feelings for another woman like I did this time. I was afraid to have to talk and explore what it could be because I was afraid it wouldn't be. I was afraid of rejection. If we had more time together before I met Brock, maybe we would have had those conversations. I always wonder. Do you talk about your opening up your marriage? In the beginning, Brock did. I think, oh, well, maybe the 3 of us. I'm sure, but no, that was never going to happen. Going to be anything I was open to because I had learned my lessons from doing that many times in the past. You conclude the book by saying you want to be more understood. There have been a lot of times in my life when I took the backseat to others. I can be a people pleaser, whether it was following my mom's rules as a child or changing my look to fit the school or taking Lisa's calls. I've let narratives and the guidance define me. I wanted to finally take the narrative back and tell my story. Writing the book has helped me sift through blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the reading of Scheana Shay and her new book. My thoughts on this. I feel bad for Scheana because I feel like she's one of those girls that, I don't know, she's like cheesy in my view. Like, it's just like people don't take her seriously because she's not a serious person. And you could be lighthearted and fun, but when you say things, if people don't take it seriously, it's probably because of your like, I don't know, the way you move through life. And it's not necessarily bad choices. It's just, you know, the way you talk, and then like you sound bubbly and silly all the time. But the thing with Brock, for me, I don't know, the fact that he has nothing to do with his kids really irks. It really irks me. I don't want to have a friend or a partner that doesn't fight to be around their kids. Like, your kids have to be priority, and if a man that doesn't have that quality is just not, for me, a person I want to be around. Like, those are your kids. I don't care how difficult the mom is, and yes, mothers are very difficult sometimes. I've seen really selfish women use their kids against the guy, and that's so wrong. I'll never be that person. I don't get it. But you stay in the same country, you fight for your kids, you have rights. And now your kids see that you're just someone that left to another country and had another baby and is on a reality show. I don't know. I feel like that was her first mistake, but that's me judging him. That I've always said it from the beginning. And so now with the cheating, I wonder if she ever thought that him and Lala in the back of her head. Who's the girl he cheated with? Because in what world in this day and age do you cheat and the girl doesn't come out and say something unless she doesn't want like attention? But that was like super early on that he's cheating on her. So who's going to read her book? That's what I want to know. I'm not going to read it. I just read that article. So that's enough for me. I don't know. I don't dislike Scheana. I just find her super cheesy. I think also the way she always has to have so much, people that have to have so much injectables and Botox and the fake lashes and the nails and the fake teeth and it's just like a look that also takes away from your relatability and like taking you as like a deeply serious person. Not deeply serious, but like someone that you can relate to and really listen to what they say, because you know their first priority is looking in the mirror. People like that tend to come off like insincere. But I don't know who's going to read her book, who enjoyed the article. Let me know. Oh, also what she said about Lisa Vanderpump is, I wonder if they're not talking anymore, maybe. I think also, you know, the show was years and years long. When they first started, they were so young. Maybe, you know, as the director and boss of the program, you're going to try to guide them and do stuff certain. I mean, I don't put it past Lisa that she did that for James. I'm just saying that it's also a dynamic of like being so young and then growing up, and then that changes your relationship too. And then, you know, Lisa's going to keep seeing them as like little kids, and they're going to keep seeing her as a boss. So I just think it's also a dynamic thing. But yes, I can see Lisa protecting James and stuff like that. I'm not shocked about that. That to me wasn't a big like, oh no, I can't believe she did that. Like, of course she did that. Like, it's her show. If she wants to protect someone, that's what she's going to do. I think most people would. Not that it's right, but if you see someone like your kid, you're going to do your best.